New developments in the aftermath of the CDC mass shooting last week should have Donald Trump, along with several other administration officials, running for cover. Why does this keep happening? Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. As you probably know, last week on August 8th, 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White of Kennesaw, Georgia, tried to break into the campus of the CDC. Security turned him away, so he took up roost across the street and began firing off hundreds of bullets at people on the campus. 33-year-old David Rose, a DeKalb County Police Department officer, was shot and killed by White. White also took his own life at the scene. Here's an overview.
Scary sounds ringing across Emory University's campus around 4:50 as a single shooter opened fire on the second floor of a CVS building. Atlanta police say the gunshots killed a DeKalb County officer and damaged windows at the Centers for Disease Control headquarters across the street.
I think that in a short order, you'll know more about this individual and about some assumptions of his motives.
Police have released few details about the suspect so far, but law enforcement sources tell CNN he had multiple firearms, including at least one assault-style rifle and a shotgun. They say they believe he was either ill or thought he was ill from the COVID-19 vaccine.
To the men and women that work at the CDC, we know that you've had a tough go of it in the past year, and my heart goes out to you as uncertainty was around your occupation.
Thankfully, Atlanta police say they are not aware of any injuries on the CDC property, though 4 people were treated for stress and anxiety.
They were not injured in the shooting. And to reemphasize what the mayor stated, the children in the daycare center are unharmed.
The suspect died from his injuries on scene as authorities continue to piece together what happened.
He had been struck by gunfire. We do not know at this time whether that was from officers or if it was self-inflicted.
Since that initial report, more details have come to light about Patrick White, details that should have Trump and his cockroaches scurrying into hiding. Stay with me. Following the shooting, Secretary of Health and Human Services and well-known anti-vaxxer Robert F. Kennedy Jr. went into damage control mode, downplaying rumors that White was motivated by anti-vax conspiracy theories.
We don't know enough about what the motive was of this individual, but people can ask questions without being penalized. And you know, there was attacks on the NFL the other day by a shooter who was concerned that he got a brain injury from playing football, and nobody blamed the New York Times for spreading that disinformation that football can cause injuries.
Okay, now wait a second. There's a difference between the New York Times reporting what a shooting suspect thought or actual facts, like that football actually causes brain injuries, and someone in a position of scholarship and authority, like RFK Jr., Lord help us, actually promoting unfounded theories. Reporting what someone believed is one thing, passing one's beliefs off as fact is another, and if that galls you, brace yourself. We now know for a fact that anti-vaccine rhetoric is indeed what motivated White.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation releasing a photo today of 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White, the suspected gunman in the deadly shooting outside the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta. Last Friday, police say White fired more than 200 rounds at 6 buildings at the CDC's Atlanta headquarters, breaking about 150 windows with bullets piercing blast-resistant windows and spattering glass shards into numerous rooms.
Over 500 shell casings have been recovered from the crime scene area. A total of 5 firearms, along with other evidence, has been recovered from the scene and will be submitted for further forensic testing.
During the shooting, police say White killed DeKalb County police officer David Rose before taking his own life. Authorities say the suspect broke into a safe at his family's home, taking a gun that belonged to his father. His family is cooperating with police. According to a 911 call obtained by ABC affiliate WSB-TV, White's father called 911 concerned his son might be responsible for the shooting.
I'm very worried that he might have been involved in this shooting today.
Police say White had no known criminal history. Now, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation said White had experienced thoughts of suicide, which even led law enforcement to be contacted several weeks prior to the incident.
Concurrent with that report you just saw, authorities have also confirmed that White stole firearms from his father's home. In fact, his dad contacted police after the shooting broke out, suspecting that his son was involved. It's clear Patrick White was not mentally well, though depression doesn't usually result in violence. And yet White shot up the campus of the CDC. Why? Because his mind was infected by a disease of its own. The disease of misinformation and confusion propagated by people like Robert Kennedy and Donald Trump. They create false targets with their lies about vaccines and push mental health cases like White to attack the innocent rather than, see a psychiatrist to actually treat his mental health issues. And easy access to assault weapons doesn't help either. This is Trump's America, one where the innocent suffer because the guilty want to create confusion, one where mental illness goes untreated, and one where the worst and sickest among us have open access to killing machines. And all of that says nothing of Kennedy's attacks on life-saving vaccines. The irony here is that Trump's own Operation Warp Speed developed mRNA vaccines, a major breakthrough with the potential to cure everything from HIV to the common cold. The United States has all the resources it needs to be a thriving, healthy nation, and yet under Trump and Kennedy, our nation gets sicker. Junk science gets touted as fact to inflate egos, and people die for no reason. Lord help us all. We'll keep you updated on this story as it continues to develop. This is Occupy Democrats.